Game week 2, Manchester is blue.
But they're not, are they? Because Manchester's red.
Oh, don't even remind me.
And so is the WSL.
Yeah, wow, Jesus. The WSL top 2 are both red right now.
Yep.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome
to
back.
Benchwarmers, a WOSO podcast, episode 3.
Yeah.
3 already. 3 already. We're on the way. We're just going to go straight into it this week.
Definitely.
No transfers. Transfers are done.
They're done.
Oh, it's a good feeling, eh?
Yeah.
Game 1 of the WSL we're going to talk about is my team. They got a win, not a particularly convincing win over Brighton at home, 2-1. First home game at the Joey Stadium.
The Pram Stadium.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an institution, our stadium, the Joey Stadium. Basically, we'll start with the first half. Brighton, I mean, they were very impressive. Yeah. Their press was really good. You had players in that midfield, like really experienced pressers in terms of your Kankoviches, your Simmons, Maisie Simmons, who's a 22-year-old who's playing really good football for Brighton now, and Frank Kirby.
Frank Kirby.
How many times have we seen this situation occur before with Frank Kirby?
I feel like we talk a lot. I mean, from my perspective, I talk a lot about Kim Little and I talk a lot about how that experience just counts for something. But Frank Kirby is just like an institution at this point.
She's so good.
So good, and her level is just so persistent.
Like, obviously, the fitness isn't the same. The physicality isn't the same. Yeah. But the tech doesn't leave you, right? How many times have we heard that? The form is temporary, class is permanent. So they kept pressing us really early on. You have moments where Kasparai and Pryor really exposed on that like short one touch, two touch passing, even like the simple like half turns, just playing to a player that isn't under any sort of immediate pressure wasn't an option in that first 45.
But do you think that that's something that has been a trend in the last couple of games? I think specifically with Pryor, I think, yes, she's young.
Do you think they target her?
I think they do. I think they specifically target that side. I think that left side for you guys is always going to be stronger, in my opinion. I think that right side is where Chelsea first targeted you, I think. And I think what Brighton did so well was pass through those channels really well and really expose 1v1.
Well, there you go. They took those medium chances. That's what we've spoken about this off camera. Vidicic ball, right? Dario, Australian hero. They just took every half chance. So every time they pressed, they got the ball and they just make maximum two passes to a medium chance, not a high percentage chance, and see if they can get the rebound to keep the chaos ball going. Which is, I mean, they had like. I think they kind of did this against Villa. I mean, they had 18 shots against Villa that first week.
I like this style of football, and I think it's a style of football that I think other teams should aspire to play with. I don't think necessarily this is going to get you any sort of medium to long-term success. But when you're playing a team like City, who you know aren't necessarily fully fit, you want to get those half chances and turn them into goals. Yeah,
no, 100%. And they did. Yeah. They really, really did. So Maddie Haley and Rayner on the wings, they created those pressing opportunities, the chances, and Michelle Adjumang, who had quite a few. I mean, we could talk about her, and I mean, me saying she'll get 12 goals. I think she'll struggle to get that if she's not taking those really strong chances. But you have a player like Fran Kirby who will find the rebound and take that chance. She whacked that in the bottom left corner. Keating had no chance. And look, it was a classic 2020 Kirby strike, no? Can't say much for us in that first half other than one player, which we'll get to a bit later. But our second half was, I'd say we kind of just shifted up the gears. We showed. I mean, we are a young side. And look, we've talked about this. Andre Eglerts is he's a youth worker. He likes working with young players to create these fast transition opportunities, and the last minute of this first half shows that. So Iman Bene gets that ball, plays it to Hempo flicks it back, she plays it to Viv. That was, if that ended up as a goal,
reminded me of something
we'd be dancing for the first 5 minutes.
It reminded me of something I'd see in, the Stadio Cruyff, it was beautiful football. Honestly, it was beautiful football.
Makes me cry. You can't even put us in the same sentence as them, but I'll take it. The goals, we can talk about the goals. So obviously Bunny Shaw gets the equalising goal. Great header.
Classic header.
Classic Bunny Shaw. 25th headed goal in the WSL. Has equal amounts of goals with her head than she does with her right foot.
That's incredible.
That's unbelievable. And then you have Uwabi's cross to her to way to find her at the back post. And then obviously who starts the play? Alexander Greenwood. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Greenwood. Nah, she's just found Uwabi on the edge, knew what to do.
And she just plays so much better in this.
Yeah. And look, and then our youth actually started to shine. So
they grew into the game.
So Blinkilda Brown, who really struggled in that first half, getting bullied off the ball by really experienced midfielders that they had, was starting to gain separation, got the cover. She had that double chance, really should have scored.
And Brighton just looked tired.
And they just Fran Kirby came off. That was the big thing. So 46th minute, Fran Kirby was, I don't know if she's injured. I really hope she's okay because, I mean, the way she was playing was magnificent. But as soon as she came off, it wasn't till Saika came on. She had a few chances. Rosa Kafaji later on in the game
I was disappointed with Rosa.
Really?
From an Arsenal perspective, I'm looking at this game. I mean, I have no stakes in this. You're all bloody relegation fodder at this point. Up from the top of the ladder, I'm looking down on you guys.
Wow, okay.
I'm like, who's going to get Europa League spots? Anyway,
thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm looking obviously from this perspective, from an Arsenal perspective, and I'm looking at Adjuman and I'm wanting her to take those chances.
Of course.
I'm looking at Rosa Kafaji and I'm thinking, if I'm seeing what these younger City players are able to do in that midfield, I understand that Brighton were tired and it was, at those last 10 minutes especially, it was a very City dominated game. But I'm wanting that flair that I was promised when we signed her.
Yeah, it is funny to say like they're kind of doing volunteer work. It's like, hey Arsenal, we're going to do this for you.
Yeah, but and Vidicic ball actually, I think, encourages this, especially from the center of the park. If you want to send a midfielder of any note who's a 10 and who's a creative player, you send them on loan to Brighton. You're not going to send them to West Ham,
Only
who
Brighton.
we'll get to later. But you want to send them to a team that wants to play football. I didn't necessarily see even what I saw in the early stages of her Arsenal time with Brighton.
Yeah, I think she didn't really have... I kind of feel bad because Kafaji only came on in the 81st minute. Yeah. She didn't have enough time to get in the game. Made a chance as well. Yeah. It's not like it's her fault, but the two Arsenal... The link up was there. It was there. It was working.
I just think Adjuman for me.
I mean, Greenwood started getting better into that game. We started defending better. Kasparai started cutting more centrally in that game. And then the second goal comes pretty much through the youngsters coming on. So Viv, who had a very
up and down
I would
say this is one of her down games.
This was I don't know if you watched anyone watches any of the game, the body language she has when she's taking strikes, and she just looked angry, like nothing was going her way. She had a really easy chance for Viv's standard, probably should have scored, set up by Hempo.
I think when I see Viv frustrated, it reminds me of the frustration I saw at Arsenal. However, this is a Viv that at Arsenal, when she was frustrated, she would use that energy of frustration to really drive the team. And I don't necessarily think I'm seeing that at City.
But it's not her team anymore. So this is the thing, right? At Arsenal, she was the talismanic figure. And now we have Bunny Shaw and we have Hasegawa moving further up the field, and Carolyn and Fujino come on and press, kind of how Brighton pressed us in the first half, and then ends up at Fujino's feet. Fujino does that little through ball to Yui, and Yui, who surprisingly only has 3 goals for us, but they're all match winners. Yeah. They're all match winners. The class to finish that from midfield.
I said it to you yesterday. I think she'll probably go down as one of your underrated players.
Yeah, underrated. I think she's just world underrated. I think you can stick her into any side and she wouldn't fall. Okay. She might be worse, but she wouldn't falter. She wouldn't be afraid of the challenge that comes ahead, and that's kind of scary. But she has signed till 2029. It's not as scary anymore. And we take the win, but we have one player left that I have to discuss, right? And I'm looking down the lens because I'm talking to her right now. Iman Bene, I love you so much. She is a revelation. Honestly, so I thought she comes into this team right back, right wing. Obviously, we saw her at the Euros kind of even move up into that inverted right forward role. Did you at any point during our preseason in our chats go, you know what, I'll throw her in the 8 and see how she goes?
No, and that is so impressive for a player of her inexperience, if we want to call it that.
Yeah.
I mean,
18 years old.
18 years old, came from Young Boys.
Yep.
I never thought that she would fit so comfortably in that position and do such magic, practically.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I'm glad you said Young Boys. Yeah, it's BSC, mate. BSC to Man City. I'll do it later. So she tackled, I think she made 5 out of 7 tackles or something ridiculous, set up Viv in that really beautiful move. But the best moment of the game, in my opinion, is if you watch the 41st minute, she gets the ball from Kasparai, terrible pass from Kasparai to her, but she takes a really heavy touch, and it was on the back of, I forgot who it was, I think it was Kankovic was on her back. She takes a heavy touch. You're like, oh, this is the kind of touch that they've been pressing all half and doing really well. You have Ollie Slagers from the left come, and you had, I think it was Kirby from the right come as well. And she just spins out of both of them. And takes on the next pass, passes across to LBB, and they start the next attack. And it was just like a little tiny moment that gets you lose that. If you don't talk about it, that moment gets lost in the game.
It's a move that I would see from like the most experienced, mature of players in that position.
Aitana, Patry.
I would. It's probably the last thing that AJ would tell her: turn against these.
Turn in the trouble. Yeah. Turn into the trouble. Take the player on.
But she was so confident to do that.
Yeah, there was even that 50-50. There was a 50-50 challenge where she just nicks the ball out to LBB again. Clearly that youngster link up I think AJ really wants. But just Iman Bene, just what a performance from someone who has infinite ceiling at this point. I genuinely think if she's going to play in the 8, if she wants to be in that midfield and run box to box, because she was blocking Michelle Adjaman at points and then separating from their defenders and taking shots on in the 18. Like the definition of the box to box, not like they're carrying the weight across the field, but like this is Benny and the Jets. This is it. Yeah. So I mean, if I'm gonna finish off on one thing for the City game, is I have to finish off with a chant I've made for Iman Bene, yeah?
We workshopped this.
Yeah, to the tune of Bene and the Jets, yeah? It's Young Boys BSC to Man City. She'll run and then she'll win us the league. Oh, Bene. Benny is the best. and then the whole of Joey Stadium. So you have the whole stand.
All 7 people at the Joey Stadium.
I don't mind, it's 7. I'm one of the 8,
Yeah.
right? I'm there at this point, right? So then you have 4 of them. 4 of them going Iman, and then the other 4 go Benny. Benny is the best. I will work, mate. I'm telling you now, I see the vision.
Yeah, and AG's going, shut up. Shut up.
Mate, AG. No, she'll get my other chant. We'll do that next week. Yeah, sure. When Greenwood has a game,
you will not get a chant from me. I'm never singing on this podcast.
AG, your left foot will get a chant. Don't worry. We wrote that a long time ago. But that's all from me and Iman Bene. Now, also just happy with 3 points. Winners are grinners, baby.
Yeah, good for you guys. I mean, we're getting used to it at this point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about now the Renaissance, right?
Yeah.
Still continues?
Yeah.
Comeback tour?
I mean, if there was a comeback necessary, I think Renee's, look, the squad selection here, I think was perfect. Yeah. I think obviously we don't know the circumstances of Cully.
Yeah.
I think she just didn't want to make the trip to West Ham. I don't blame her.
She's a Mancunian at heart.
I don't blame her.
Hates West London.
Yeah. No, but I think starting Beth, who I think is pretty much secured herself as the assist merchant. I think Renee's sat her down and gone.
She's gone for the 100.
Beth, we've had Sam Kerr get the 100 in the goals. Beth, you're going to get the 100 in the assists.
She's mental.
No, I think Caitlin Ford also starting instead of Liv Smith. I don't know the circumstances of that, but I don't mind it. I think we now have that squad depth. We have the ability to rotate. And sure, West Ham, they score off of a really crappy, goalkeeper error.
This human being.
From my goat.
Yeah.
From my goat.
My God, the amount of stuff I've been received from Leggy in the last year, specifically last season, looking at a player like DVD, who was arguably the best goalie in the world last year, has gone into the Euros and had no help and got destroyed.
From the Netherlands, they wanted to kill her PR.
Van Dom's PR. And then has started off the season like that, with a cross like that.
Look,
the own goal.
Spilsberger, she was there. She wanted to give her best impersonation of Spilsberger, and that's okay. We need she needs to be human at least once, just to remind everybody. But that's fine.
But how does it feel? Like, you're watching that, so that's
it pisses me off.
15 minutes in.
Oh, it pisses me off. I mean, like, let's be real.
But you didn't. You kind of went like. You take it on the chin at this point. Rene goes down in games now.
I think now if we're going to get 3 points in every one of our games that we go down once, I take it. I don't really care.
I mean, we need to actually sort out this bit, but we're supposed to have a jar when we're talking about like the men's game, and we're comparing it. But wasn't there that Liverpool error, the 3-1 error? They just concede 1 and score 3. Yep. That's what you're doing every week now, just copping a goal early, and that's okay.
But no, I think Frida as well, playing in that 10 ahead of Vic again. I don't mind it. I actually, as I've said before on the pod, I think Frida Martin's our most underrated player, and she showed it. We scored pretty much immediately. I mean, even if it's not just the scoring, we pressed immediately after we went down. It was inevitable that we were going to score. I think the connection between Alessia Russo and the players around her goes so unnoticed. She's able to connect with her flanks, with Marnham, with Blackstenius when she comes on in the 45th. This is a system now that is so adaptable. And I was saying this to you yesterday, and I've been thinking about it for a while. I think this team is the closest in terms of how we're playing to the teams of the 2020 era, the early era of the Joe Montemurro. The last time we got a bigger result against West Ham was in 2020. I believe it was a 9-1 against West Ham. Right? We went through that.
The Jill Roord hat trick.
It was a great game. But what I distinctly remember about that era of Arsenal is the attacking style of football. And I think what Renee is encouraging is that attacking flair back. I think with the signings that we've made, with the depth, with the rotation, you're getting that, and it's showing, and that's why we're getting not just 3 points, but convincing 3 points.
Oh, it's actually scary, the breadth and variety in your attacks as well. So it's not just McCabe. Last year it was kind of McCabe and Fox running the show from the flanks. Now they're inverting. Now they're making new decisions up the line, which is a new outlook Arsenal, right? So you have Marnham did not have this many goal contributions at the start of the last season.
No.
She wasn't really getting that far forward, to be honest. But the comfort you have in possession now, and then I mean, we have to talk about her in the top right corner here because I mean that's what she does. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm very happy to say that. Well, I mean, we'll talk about Claudia Pina later, but with her starting, I can say that Stina Blackstenius is the best sub in the world. She's the best sub in the world, the best player to have on the bench, because the reality is that other than Barcelona and maybe Lyon, she starts for everyone else. And she gets 90 minutes everywhere else, and Renee and Arsenal have managed to keep her in as a part of the project and say, you are a vital figure, not just instead substituting Alessia Russo, but now they can play together.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Arsenal fans have been calling for this for years, at least.
But not Alessia on the left.
No, God, no. Please, Renee, please. No, but there is no need to take Alessia off if we don't need to. Her availability to play, or her adaptability to play in that 10 position, like we know that Alessia Russo is the best striker in terms of as a player that there is in the world. I don't think that's up for dispute. She's not the best goal scorer.
No.
She maybe doesn't have, the goals with her head that Bunny has, or the prolific 1, 2, 3, 4 that Ewa Paya will get every game week for Barcelona. But what she does off the ball, the thing that she actually encourages the rest of the team to do, which is drive forward, because she's the one actually starting that play, because we're playing so high already.
Yeah, so high.
And if we're going back to Viv even just for a second here, we saw the best of Viv in that last season for Arsenal when Alessia Russo was playing with her.
Alongside.
And I think that's what makes Alessia Russo, again, one of the best players. She actually...
The versatility.
But the encouragement that she gives the other players.
Yeah, but...
She doesn't make it... It's not the Alessia Russo show, it's the Arsenal show.
She broke the drought as well, and did it in
She got man of the match before she even scored her 2 goals. That's how you know her impact is just insane. And people know it, and people are seeing it.
It's also, like, it's refreshing to see her get the space that she was getting, because last year I feel like, not that Ford and Mido were doing anything wrong, I just feel like she got clamped in the middle a bit more.
I think she was ball watching to an extent. I think she was running to the ball rather than running away from the ball, and I think that meant that she was getting too close to the wingers, too close to the 10. But I think she's found that real comfort area right around the box.
Yeah,
and I think it's just working
but
so well.
It's the creative juices. It's flicking the goal, the flicks back, the flair, the separation she gets for other players because of the speed at which she passes the ball is magnificent. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about other than West Ham.
I think West Ham were really poor.
Our prediction of West Ham is wrong, correct?
I think we can say that. I think they looked tired. The build-up way was really, really bad. And I think they got frustrated at the end. You saw that from even their most experienced players, like when Minnie Gori, she was getting frustrated, and it was mostly because we just pretty much
overwhelmed them.
Overwhelmed them. There was a real drought in possession for them. And I think that was made even worse when Russo was able to drop down and we were able to have a player like Stina just
come on
cause
early,
chaos.
do the chaos, and then comfortable subs later on.
Yeah, I think
Olivia Smith, little cameo,
two technical goal contributions. She got the assist for the one, and then
pass to assist. No?
And then she was the one who was the penalty, the tackle inside the box for the penalty. I like that we now have finishers. I think that's one of the things that we're seeing from the top clubs now. They really recognize, when teams can need that little extra firepower, and then they come on and they do the job.
Do you think it's nice to know that you're not firing all cylinders, like in terms of like your best 11 every week? You're not doing that straight away.
I like that because I think it obviously creates an environment of competition.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to get any sort of semblance of form against like relegation fodder, no offense, like West Ham. But I think coming up to a game like Manchester United, I think that's when we'll be able to show the gears, when we'll be able to just level up and show our class when it comes to the final third.
100%. I think it's hard to even look at like your two games in a vacuum without playing a team that's caused you much trouble, not in the sense of a goal scoring line, but putting pressure on your attack, making your play. Your players never looked frustrated.
We're not desperate for a goal. We haven't been.
You kind of know it's coming, and there needs to be a moment or a period where you see adversity, and then we'll see the best of.
I think
players.
There have been eras of Arsenal where it comes to the last 5 minutes, and we're just chucking people on, and nothing comes about it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm really comfortable now. If we're a goal down next week, God forbid, if we're a goal down or we need a goal to win, I trust our players to get that goal.
100%. Yeah, I think that's all for Arsenal.
The most frustrating hate watch.
United?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Look, there is a lot I don't want to talk about in this game. We saw them lose in the first of two legs in the Champions League against Brann, SK Brann. We'll talk about their second leg later on in the show. United, look, they kind of mauled Kang FC.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird hate watch because it's like I don't want to see Kang FC win either, but it
is a battle of two evils.
But it's giving them confidence. Like maybe a 1-0 win for United with maybe a 2-1 win, put some adversity, show that they're gettable. But the reality was that United were all over them, and players got in behind them, and players who are looking really fresh on form. I think the three players that are worth mentioning are Maya Letitia, who looks like she's coming off last year with a different venom.
Looks like she wants to show Serena Williams.
Exactly, exactly right. Yeah. Oh my God, it's kind of interesting because you kind of thought, were they a one season wonder, that defensive line, but now they're getting involved in goals, and then the two best players, or the best player I thought on the park, Jess Park.
Yeah.
The Jess, she's turned
and isn't
the United ground into the Jess Park.
Well, isn't it funny now? She's got 3 games under her belt. Grace Clinton still hasn't. She hasn't touched the grass.
Who's Grace Clinton? I don't know.
We don't know her yet. We don't.
I have Iman Bene. I think she's my 8th.
Fair enough.
I don't really.
No, she hasn't touched the grass with the Joy, but Jess Park. I mean, the space that she was given,
the free roll.
It just looked really bad from London City's perspective. And I think that we have to, actually say what the truth is, which is they look like a newly promoted side that look like they're about to yo-yo.
Kang might go. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I just think what is fundamentally wrong with this team is the lack of connection,
cohesion.
There is a spine in that team that is basically the age of like a newly put nursery home.
It's a geriatric squad. It's sad. Like, you take Linari out and you still got Alana Kennedy and Kumagai and Aslani. These are not these are names. It's name FC, right? And the reality is
the names are letting them down.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, this isn't preseason signings. This is like, we can talk about the fact that there was only Gioro was the deadline day signing, but it's not like they had 8 weeks. It's not like they signed them with 8 weeks, but 8, 10, 12 weeks before the season. They signed them with 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before the season started. You can't get a team to gel to, maybe by the end of the season, we'll see an LCL that's a bit more cohesive in their back line. But the reality is that this is 30-year-old legends who are getting put on monster contracts, so they don't actually have to play that hard to get what they're earning.
And they're ruining their legacy. I'm sorry, Saki Kumajai is ruining her legacy by playing some of the worst football I've seen from an arguably top 10 player for Japan ever. Yeah. Right?
Not even arguable. I think she has to be a top 10 player. Like, no question.
I don't understand necessarily the style of football that they're trying to play. I think that there's obviously a brand that they're trying to fit. They're trying to play some sort of possession style playing out from the back. That's obviously not working. Their back line is a shambles.
The three at the back is just
there
not
is
working.
No centre back. The position that you need that remains is the centre back. That duo is the thing that actually
the partnership
enables your team to have any sort of semblance of result. And what we're seeing from a London City team is the inability to both defend and play any style of attacking football either.
I think they do have glimpses in attack, but the problem is it's all central. It's all central. So obviously your best defenders are going to be your centre halves, right? So Maya Letizia had a fantastic game, not just offensively, but defensively as well. And a player like Letizia is not going to get any like bother from a player like Aslani if she's trying to do link up play with someone like Imran on the left who just can't break past Riviere. And look, Riviere had a stellar game. What a fantastic goal. Definitely a goal of the week contender. But the reality is that this barrage doesn't allow you to rest. You don't have, this is the WSL. You don't have time on the ball to expand, create, have a bunch of 30-year-olds who are trying to like find that perfect pass. You have to run and carry the ball, and they don't have the runners and carriers. You have players like Goodwin who want the ball at her feet. They want to do techie, nice, like small, intricate passes to find space. You have Aslani who wants to run forward and get ahead of the ball. So the signings aren't trying to build a play style, right? So you guys buying Olivia Smith because you don't have the run and carry. They're buying names because they're names. Then it's not based on play style. They don't come into the fact that it's experience gets you results, but team cohesion and youth will trump experience at every moment. And we saw that in full picture 4K as Melvin Mallard decided to pop two past you with relative ease. You're putting this player on immense form right now. I think Mallard's arguably the form player in the competition possibly, at the moment. And you have a like, I don't know. There's a limited level of compassion I have for LCL.
Well, I don't care.
Because, obviously, I want them to go down, but there's a level of compassion I have for players who are pretty much well respected in their regard, who are trying to facilitate moves that don't allow them or enable them to play any semblance of their best football.
The PR won't say this. Like, the PR won't tell you that this is the worst newly promoted team since Everton.
Yeah, we're the anti-PR. Yeah, we're the only ones that can see LCL for what it is.
This is the worst start. Last game, right, was the worst opening game since like the mid 2010s. Yeah. This is the worst start by a newly promoted team since Everton in 2020, 2021.
Yeah. Do you think they're worse than that Everton side? It's close.
I think that Everton side was incredibly young. I think that this side has absolutely no idea what their identity is. Yeah. I think.
What's the goal? What's the goal for this season? Stay up? Is that it?
Well, I mean, apparently to them it was, Champions League. And I mean, I like fever dreams as much as the next person, but I also like the realism.
Yeah.
They're filling out the stadium
Arsenal quadruple, by the way.
They're filling out a stadium of 2,800 people. They have literally no fans, and the fans that they do have will they will fall off this team
It's disheartening.
Yeah, if they keep playing like that, the big names will only get you so far because the big names will just stop playing.
There'll always be an interesting team to watch across the season because of what because there is a part of us that does care about the players that they have.
Well, honestly, I think it's a similar situation to Rolfo. For me, the decision to go to London City is more than a football decision, and I can't justify or I think that decision.
It doesn't resonate with us.
In and
how
of
we
itself,
look at
that decision to me is you're like this burying your career by going to Saudi now is an option, by going to the NWSL, but then there's the decision of going to basically like this Kang institution.
Yeah, of course.
And I can't.
I'm so glad you're using my language, my Kangwich. I love that my Kangwich gets noticed. But yeah, I mean, you look at that London City Lionesses side and it's full of 30-year-olds, it's full of 19-year-olds. There's no really like 24, 25-year-olds, like experience but power on the
Giora
play.
came on and I actually think she did all right. Yeah. Because I actually think she looked the most lively out of all the players.
Definitely some really strong moments. Obviously, like, I just think Rolfo needs a little mention. I mean, came on, did the business. That left-sided interception, plays it to Park. Park does the wonder strike.
At this point,
catches Lete off guard.
At this point, I'm thinking: has any of the LCL players, coaching staff, ever watched a game of Rolfo's? Like, they're allowing her so much time to get the ball in deep, and you know what she's going to do.
Fell into the Rolfo trap, really, and that's. I mean, look, that's what happens when you get found out.
I feel like with United, they can't take this result as any sort of note for the rest of their season. They have an important game coming up against Brighton. They're 1-0 down. If they don't qualify, it will be a failure, and it'll be a further taint on an already incredibly stained reputation that they have.
I mean, I don't know. I think we've talked about this before. We have a quite differing opinion on what United are trying to be. I think they're trying to be a consistent Champions League side and not much more than that.
They need to make Champions League first.
No, obviously. But like, qualifying through coming second or third, right? Like being the qualification side, whether that coefficient changes this year if Arsenal and Chelsea get further into the competition. The reality is that I think they will beat Brighton, but the thing is that when they're in the Champions League, what they can do is quite limited. And
their squad depth is quite poor, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they have to pick one. They have to pick whether they're going after the league or they're going after the Champions League. And the reality is, I think that they think they can pip us for the league. And when you look at the age of their squad, averaging at about 27, and ours is averaging at about 24. Yeah, it's a complete different. Like, we're the youngest team in the league, and we're trying to challenge in that way, which is crazy that we're anywhere near that with 18, 19-year-olds in the midfield and 18, 19-year-olds in our defense, right? And it's really exciting to see that. But will experience trump youth for the Manchester qualification? We don't know, because I mean it's very easy for me to say that that's the top four because we both said that, but I think it's a weird thing that United have to work out, especially if they qualify for the Champions League. What they actually want out of it? Are they going for the round of 16?
I think the two signings. The two signings are interesting because I would say a Rolfo is a move for the Champions League, and I actually think Jess Park is a move for the league.
Yeah, she's much better in the league. Like, her Champions League form wasn't all spectacular for us, but a player like Olme, Ziggy Oddie wants to play Champions League,
and she hasn't necessarily been tested, and neither has that defense.
Exactly. I think that's all we have for United. Thank God we don't have to talk about United or LCL, and we don't have to talk about Lyon either because they didn't play. Is that Kang done for the day? I'm so excited. No, it's not. We'll do it later. Quick fire. Let's do Chelsea Villa. Thoughts?
Oh my God, Ebony Salmon just put the ball in the back of the net. That's not a screamer. Put the one.
I was gonna say. Did you watch the game?
It was fine. It was a great goal. Whatever. But put the 1v1s in. You're making Hannah Hampton look like prime Hope Solo. I don't understand.
Yeah, my God. Hannah Hampton. Look, she made 3 saves. Let's just remember that 3 saves, and she got man of the match. Ridiculous. Villa were great first half. Yeah. Can I just say they were like magnificent in their press. It was kind of similar to the City Brighton game in the sense of that they forced Ellie Bjorn, players out of their comfort zone, and Captain as well, younger player as well, not as experienced in dealing with that press on her own, getting isolated like that. You had the three suspects of Villa. I love these three, by the way. Kirsty Grant, Ebony Salmon, and Hansen, just absolutely like war dogs. It's crazy the way they were running around. They should have had a goal. They should have had the first goal. And then Ellie Carpenter once again trying to make Leggy look as stupid as possible.
It wasn't a good cross.
Crosses
It wasn't
the ball
a good
in,
cross, guys.
But no. But we're gonna say the word that matters the most. She created the danger. She crosses it in. And the danger happened, and then Beaver Jones scores. Classic. ABJ doing all she can to make sure she's still on the side. And you know what? She should be, because she's the best striker in the team. She just is. She is the best striker for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that with really, really bold italics is because of this girl right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I have a little mini figure.
A
Lego mini figure of Samantha Kerr, who, after a year and a half more now, December 2023, her first cameo for Chelsea. Look,
and she should have got a brace.
She scored, but she should have had two. Yes,
it was the worst goal.
Yeah,
it was actually a very
no. But come on, it's the most Sam Kerr goal you'll ever see. So 100th goal in the league. How funny! 100th goal is that?
But she's the second in Chelsea's all time. Yeah, behind Frank Kirby.
Yeah, and she's not far away, is she? 16.
She won't get it.
16 goals away. Come on. I mean, one game against Leicester and LCL, and she's 8 goals away. No, Sam Kerr. There were moments that were kind of impressive to see. The fact that she still garners so much attention. I get that she's Sam Kerr, a bit of a name merchant at this point. Yeah. But
I thought the fourth official was going to go and shake her hand when they were coming on.
It's wow, congratulations, Sam, you finally made the field. Wow. The layoff to Macario for Macario's strike, really nice. The interplay she has with Aggie Beaver-Jones. So it's not necessarily Sonia showing a little bit of versatility in the two up front, allowing both of them to play at the same time, showing that 5-minute stint before Beaver-Jones came off.
I actually thought that her connection with Alyssa Thompson, and I actually think Alyssa... See, for me, and I hate to say this, but I actually think Alyssa Thompson had the better debut versus a Sam Kerr re-debuting, if you like.
Yeah, but are you gonna say what you say about Ellie to Alyssa Thompson? She can't cross the ball.
I mean, well...
Look, how many crosses did she have in that game? I reckon she had about 5.
Yeah, well, there was one very good one.
Yeah, there was one
notable one.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think, look, Sam Kerr... She's going to get you a goal. It's unfortunate, but she's been playing for about a decade, and it's like everybody forgot how to play against a striker when they play against Sam Kerr.
Well, a physical striker.
I respect that these players don't necessarily want to take her out, right? I understand that. I get it.
But I want you to.
But personally, if I'm going up against Sam Kerr, notably, I am 5 foot. But if I was going up against Sam Kerr,
it is notable now.
the first thing I would do is I completely iced her out of that game.
Yeah.
And they gave her way too much time on the ball. They're putting attention on players in the crosses. Yes, every player needs attention in the box. But why don't you have at least 2 players on Sam Kerr?
How shocked
Millie
were you?
Bright,
how shocked were you when she had that open 6-yard strike and then passed it back to Beaver?
I mean, actually, I was incredibly happy. Look, I was like, washed, shit.
Watch.
No,
coming soon.
I think that was probably Sam Kerr not, seeing a better opportunity for another player and going, okay, well, it's an easier goal.
Do you think she's going to be more facilitator error, Sam? Or is that just a blunder?
I think that's a blunder because I think Sam Kerr loses about 10 IQ every 5 minutes on the pitch because I think that it just becomes like goal, goal, goal.
Yeah, she's going to make me be the voice of Sam Kerr.
I'm sorry, I don't see it. It's like, okay, she scored a tap-in goal, good for her. But
no, but it's the first time she's played in a year and a half, and she didn't look much out of place.
Played against a pretty underwhelming centre back duo in defence, right?
Yeah, but it's so this is the thing. We can talk about Sam Kerr of yonder, which doesn't exist anymore, or we're going to talk about Chelsea trying to go for multiple competitions and utilising a player like her as a big stack bully, as a flat track bully the way that I think Sonia doesn't want to use her. So when they come when you how would you feel if you're LCL and you're Kumagai and you have to come up against Sam Kerr for 45 minutes?
I would be shitting myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be like, okay, let's like retire now.
Yeah,
like
but Beaver Jones rests for a midweeker, and you get Myra Ramirez back, who you can like. It gives them so like. Institutionally, the roster becomes I hate the word roster. I'm never using the word roster. The squad becomes good enough that you don't have to use you don't have to burn out Aggie to win games. Aggie comes on as a cameo. Sam comes on as a cameo in a Champions League match, right? We didn't even talk about the person I thought who was the best off the subs was when they made that triple substitution, right? Erin Cuthbert came on for captain, and then the press disappeared. Honestly, Villa's press just absolutely nullified. The second goal, Kira Walsh, was that stupid deflection.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very, very average finish.
Typical
but
Kira
very
Walsh.
Kira Walsh. It was going wide, but again, all the attacks were going Chelsea's way. Macario was moving different in that second half. She was doing really well. Alyssa, you're right. Her speed is great. I want to see more. I want to see more output.
She looked really lost. Notably
also,
the
all
pitches
aerial balls. They're all aerial crosses. Try feed that drill across the box. Like
the thing I like about Alyssa Thompson is she knows what she's good at. She's not going to do what Liv Smith does, where she wants to draw in the defender and then take them and run and go into space. She's not necessarily the smartest player on the pitch, but she knows what she can do. And what she can do is just ping that ball long and run for it.
Yeah.
And she creates space out wide.
Separation across.
Dribbles. Yeah. And she is very
creator.
She's very direct. You saw it in the NWSL. I do think it'll take time for her to adapt, but
do you think she plays a big role in this season?
I don't actually think she plays a big role, but I think she plays a role in a much larger, more attacking style that Chelsea want to implement this season.
I was going to say Gora Wrighton, bit of an underwhelming performance, which is a shame.
Gora Wrighton, a bit of an underwhelming year.
Yeah, just a bit looking like the end of her time, and in not as like a career, but as
we're calling it.
No, I'm not calling it.
We're culling her after this pod.
Gora Wrighton, I love you.
We're taking her out the back.
I love Norway. You saw the first podcast. I wore a Norway top, just not for you, but I do rate her and everything she's done for the WSL. I just think. I think Alyssa Thompson's hungry, and I think she wants that left side. I think Hamano wants that left side. I think there are three of them. It's crazy. They have three players for every position, fighting it out, battling it out for who's
and they'll
the top.
Still get knocked out in the semi-final.
Yeah, okay. Well, on that note, speaking of knockouts, do you think Everton win a game ever again?
The Vignola effect, right?
My God. Vignola, hat-trick 1 week and then Patrick the next.
I think this is what we're coining, just like a one-game wonder, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it does happen, sadly. It does happen to the best of us, like Courtney Vine. One penalty wonder. But look, Everton losing to Tottenham Hotspur 2-0
in a really disappointing game for Everton.
Yeah, pretty. Well, it was at Goodison. Was it Goodison Park? Yeah,
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was Everton at home. 2-0. Tanberg, as we said last week, I said she'd be the saviour. You said she's a great signing. This is why you listen to us, because we just know things.
Who else do you know watches Swedish ball in the middle of the week?
Oh my God, what a player! Like she came. Like I said, she'd be the saviour, but I didn't think she'd score from halfway.
I think
like that. Like the onus to take that on. It doesn't matter that you're opposition. The fact that she thought the first thing to do is to ping that from 40 yards.
Well, I think so.
Is mental.
What I really appreciate about these players coming over from other European leagues is that they take the weaknesses that they experience in that league, because there is a notable gap, right? Like, I mean, the worst of the Swedish league is not the worst of, the Evertons or the LCL.
LCL would do well in the Swedish league, sure. Maybe. Oh, and maybe not. Like, I don't know, age-wise, not this team, but Leicester wouldn't get relegated in the Swedish league.
I wouldn't say
Probably
so.
Not.
However, those mistakes that happen in the Swedish league, they happen in our league as well, in the WSL.
Of course.
It's football.
Yeah.
Those players, though, are experts, are professionals at capitalizing on those chances.
Yeah.
And someone like Tanberg knows what to do in those opportunities, and she just exploited it.
100.
And I think it was really poor by the Everton centre back. But I think
we'll talk about her.
I think Everton as a whole just had a really poor game in all lines.
It was a very, very disappointing performance. Artinen also a really good game in the 10, getting more free roll and finding that chance really early on kind of took the sting out of Everton's press. Vignola really isolated. I don't really know why she was up front for periods of that game.
You wanted her to drop
she was on the,
deeper?
well, no. She was on the right last game.
Yeah.
Like she was on the right in that Merseyside derby, and she's been moved up front. I get you score 3 goals, you move position, but maybe it's because she had that isolation. When you're 1v1 with a fullback, it is a bit different to getting caught up in 2 centre halves that are going to maul you and put pressure on you, and you have to play with your back to goal instead of in front of the ball. It's tough. It was a tough day for Vignola, and a tough day for. I mean, we're just going to mention it really quickly. Gazball, they're crap. Oh my God, Gareth Taylor,
Liverpool,
you are rubbish,
geez.
and Leicester with 10 players. A red card managed to
and
scrape.
a geriatric Emily Van Egmond.
Yeah, Australian hero, EVE, headers, match winner. Yeah, so 2 Australian match winners
And
this week.
we have to remember, Leicester got the red card from their striker before the goal.
Yeah, and then EVE moves forward. They cross it in. She does an EVE header. The only thing you know EVE to do.
Yeah.
Loops the goalie.
Yeah.
And, God, Chelsea without Liv Smith and Taylor Hines. Liverpool without Liv Smith and Taylor Hines are not the same Liverpool.
No,
it's
and
nowhere near. Herbinger not getting any space to go up.
They
forward.
they look stuck in possession. They look stodgy. They look quite tired. And I'm like, it's 3 games in, guys.
Yeah.
No, I think Gazball was not the move. It wouldn't surprise me if Gareth Taylor is moved on very quickly from this team.
Is it a Christmas miracle?
But the only thing is, the only way I caveat is that I actually don't think Liverpool give 2 shits about their women's team. And I think that's that.
They are very bullish on their men's side, and the investment they've had in the men's side is absolutely absurd.
And obviously that's not translated in the women's team.
No.
And as a result,
Who'd they get? Just Shimizu.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think as a result, you're seeing the uninvestment, or we're seeing the we don't want to call it over-investment from Kang, but it is this sort of, hyperinflated capitalist idea of what you should do with a football team versus...
But it's uninspired
versus
investment.
a really uninspired investment by Liverpool, where their men's team is, spending hundreds of millions.
The tyrants of men's football who can't put up any attack against arguably who we would consider one of probably the weakest, especially in terms of depth. Like they got a red card. They have 17 first-team players. Next week they have 16. If they get 4 red cards, we're looking at 12-a-side football right here. Like this is what I'm talking about when we're saying like I would be very happy to say that obviously Real Madrid would be close in terms of the institution between their men's and women's sides, but 100% Liverpool's men's to their women's side is by far the greatest disparity of any team, and that is something to look at and something to discuss.
We can be critical of Kang, but we can also be critical of the institution.
But now let's leave England. Now we talk about around the grounds.
Yeah.
Spain, yes. Barcelona, yet again. Logrono. Do we just talk about the same things every week?
Yeah.
But 39 shots, 14 on target to 0.
And what did particularly La Reina do that was so incredible?
She created 9 chances. And no one scored them. My GOAT is working. So like if Barcelona are in 6G compared to every other team that's in 5G. So let's say Chelsea, Arsenal and Lyon are 5G, Barca's 6G. Lexi's 7G.
Oh, okay.
She just can't. She hasn't found the players who gel with her, right?
Oh yeah. Nah. Sorry, we breed them in La Masia, and then we're bringing in the best players from overseas. But now we need an alien to come in.
No, she had an amazing game. She just the stats don't show it that way because she didn't get any goal contributions in comparison to Aitana Bonmati, who took our comments. Took Leggy and I's conversation last week about her not scoring normal goals very personally and decides to, in 18 minutes, score a scorpion.
Well, scorpion shrimp, right? I think it's called a shrimp now.
Is it a shrimp?
Made it a shrimp.
When you stay on your feet, is it a shrimp? And then when you get off your feet,
she fully got off her feet. What? She jumped like some sort of.
Ovaye did.
Yeah, but so did Aitana.
I thought, but she stayed up. She didn't fall over or anything. It's not like a jump. It's not like a leap forward.
Pseudo backflip. No, Ben.
Yeah. You know what I mean? No.
Kung fu in the middle of the Stadio Cruyff.
But again, like mental. One of them will be definitely a top top contender for goal
Yeah.
of the season. Like, obviously we can talk about Ovaye, she's aimed at, and that spectacular scorpion goal, but this was so much more intentional in the way, like, you can tell she's, like, the cross isn't perfect from Vicky. She takes it on the back foot, and then 2 minutes later, gets a ball from, was it Patry, I think, pings it bottom left. She's got 2 goals in 20 minutes, or 2 goals in 2 minutes. And then they were just comfortable in flow state, as we call it.
Yeah.
Ewa, Leia Alexandri, probably her best game for Barcelona.
She was really good.
Finding pockets in that final third. She was pressing so high, and then who was it? Leia to Patry to Ewa, Ewa goal. That was magnificent. Ewa getting her 4th goal in 3 games, or 5th goal in 3 games. Classic Ewa Payor numbers.
We don't even know them. They're just so absurd.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Her numbers are, she has more goals than games and probably close to more assists.
Yeah.
And then Kika Nazareth, also great cameo, comes in, gets the header. Very average goal from them, but I don't know. It's interesting because 4-0 is such a weird scoreline for them now with their 8s.
Are you even trying any more, Bas? I mean, you had 8 last time and 8 before, and now you halved it.
Yeah. Anything you thought you could take from the game, or just more like routine, well-oiled machine stuff?
I think what I take from it is the opposite of what I'm seeing with the games like the Real Madrid game and what I'm seeing from the other teams in the league. But as I said, particularly Real Madrid, I think like you thought that the level was so stark, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Real Madrid decided that they wanted to invest and actually wanted to challenge Barcelona. Now we're seeing poor performances against, the kid in Madrid CFF.
Oh, yeah.
Their kid sister.
The second Madrid derby.
Yeah.
So we talked about it last week, Atleti versus Madrid. There's also another Madrid side in the Liga F. And I mean, they did win. We are talking about Madrid in a very, Real Madrid in a very stark way, but the reality was that they did pull out the 3 points, not a convincing 3 points.
And this was the second win in a week because they did beat Frankfurt in midweek. And I think that the decision to play...
That was a huge win, by the way, to win that.
Definitely.
What's that, away? That was Frankfurt away.
Yes, yeah. Wow. But I think the decision to not play Caicedo, captain, they didn't play
Linda.
Miss Captain Atenea.
Yeah.
I think that
Del Castillo.
I think that Redondo really showed why she's one of the most underrated strikers for Spain. Yeah. She wasn't used in the Euros. She just wasn't used in the Euros, and I think that was to Spain's. It wasn't necessarily to their demise, but I would say that they really struggled to find goals, especially against those oppositions that necessarily didn't give them enough time in the final third. And I think a player like Redondo really opens up. And
it's a different look to Esther Gonzalez, who wants the ball on the ground. Redondo's the kind of player that Del Castillo, Atenea would cross to. You get that low, that header she scores.
Ada Hegerberg-esque.
Yeah, very much like the athleticism to get that low to the ground. Like we talk a lot about aerial threats in WOSO as a whole. Like you have your Alex Pops, you have your Renards, you have your Gabby Garcias, but not many headers that are like Bunny Shaw, obviously, but that was a fantastic diving header. Great effort. And then, I mean, Madrid CFF countered off them. So they pressed hard. And
again, where's Madrid's defense? I'm looking for it.
Yeah, exactly. Lacroix had a good game, but Lacroix just doesn't have a lot of help. And Sosa, this girl from Madrid CFF, 32 years old, hits this low driven, genuinely from Toledo. I think she's hit it so far away. It was like 45 yards. Every time I watch the clip, the ball gets slower, the distance gets further, and Froms gets sadder.
Froms is a whole discussion.
Oh my God, Froms. Well, I don't know what happened to. I saw a few Madrid fans online saying that should have been saved. I've watched it again. I think her feet aren't the same. Like she doesn't get over. Her dive is good, but her feet don't get over to the ball at all. And
there is something to be said about a keeper who retires from international duty at the age of 31, whatever she is.
It's not old for a keeper at least.
And to be replaced by Anne-Catherine Berger, who we've obviously seen the levels of. But
the best.
But Frums was, she was arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah.
She's now replaced Misa, pretty much like a hero at Madrid, if anything. I mean, she is Madrid.
Yeah, of course.
As much as Olga, as much as Atenea. And I think that with that replacement comes a lot of expectation. I don't think she's necessarily lived up to that.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's. I mean, there's one little bit left, which is Caroline Weir getting the winner. That intricate
Captain
corner
Caro.
play. Yeah, just fantastic work. I think. Yeah, Caroline Weir, City legend, just done her job yet again and scrapes the line over for a win for Madrid. It was early on in the game, but it wasn't convincing from then on. The 60th minute, not a lot of chances.
They brought on their usual starters.
Yeah.
I don't think they added anything.
100%. And I think that's all for the Madrid derby. Atletico Madrid.
What a game. What a performance.
What an unbelievable team.
These goals.
Yeah,
Ben.
wow. These, I think of the top 5 goals of the week that we have, I think they have 3.
Yeah, I think
they have
there was one goal which was, not the greatest that we saw, but it was still a very well worked goal.
Oh, the third goal, I believe it was. The flick on was really, really nice. I think it was Luani's header to herself and then flicks it over the keeper. That was the second goal, actually. But Atletico Madrid beating Levante 4-0, second in Liga F, 10 goal difference as well.
Pretty impressive.
Definitely. And these are not. This is a plus 10 goal difference where they're scoring. They've only conceded 1 goal in 3 games. So that means they've scored 11 and they're not scoring crappy goals like Sarajeagi, Amior Sarajeagi, the volley she scored. It was a throw in from Lydia Rodriguez.
This is mental.
It goes, I don't know, she has a lot of space, but she turns.
She shields.
Yeah.
She's backtracking.
She's backtracking.
She shields.
Yeah.
And then she takes it first time. And
Volley outside the box, barring in.
And what did I say when she scored it?
What?
Like a prime Lexi goal.
This
is prime Lexi.
Yeah. Sarajeagi, if you're ever out there, you've just been compared to if you ask me, the greatest football player I've ever seen. So you know what? I'll take that. It was a great strike, a ripper strike. But sadly wasn't the best strike of the game.
I don't think it was, no.
Julia Bartel for the 3rd goal. I mean, wow, the way the ball, so it's like this scramble in the box, the ball gets bounced, it bounces off the defender, comes out to Bartel, she hits it with the outside of her foot into the top left corner from the edge of the box. Yeah. Oh my God.
So good.
What a ping. Like, it was ridiculous. The strike is that is the top of the top, the creme de la creme of the best strikes I love to see. I don't think I could ask for much more than that. But then we got some actual, not just one touch bangers and just long shots. We got Medina, they're right back, by the way. I think it's their right back. Their left back. Gets the cut back off the corner. She run, I think it was Luani, the sub who came on. She comes on the right side. She pings it back to her. She cuts away from the defender.
A great cut.
Beautiful
great
cut back. And then strikes the ball and it goes in the near post. But what am I missing? Meg the defender as well. So the strike megs the defender and beats the keeper near post, which is just as good. Again, I think it's definitely I don't know her. I don't know Medina. I don't know you that well. That has to be the best goal you've ever scored. That was absolutely fantastic.
I think after the first goal, I think that they knew what they were cooking with, and it was
the pressure just disappears after that one goal. You get into flow state, and it was magnificent. But I think that's all I really have to say about Spain at the moment. Germany, Leipzig versus Bayern Munich, 3-0 win for Bayern. Who do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Oberdorf.
The Oberdorf. Yeah.
I have been one of those people who was a bit skeptical when I wasn't seeing Oberdorf in the starting lineups, in the squads, competitions for Bayern after she moved. I was like, where is she? Where's she gone? Is she going to come back as the best player? We were seeing lists still having her as one of the best CDMs in the world. I'm like, she hasn't played for 2 years.
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
she came back, and she came back last week with 10-minute spell. She came back into the squad, and there's a reason why she's one of the best centre midfielders in the world.
Oh, she was absolutely magnificent.
The goal with her head to start.
Fading away.
Yeah, the leap was quite impressive as well.
To get the positioning, shove the player out of the way, really good header.
I think even just in her play as well, the tempo she was able to control, the partnership with Stanway, we hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
And I think that is a partnership that is going to just grow, and I think that center of the game, I think that was one of the issues last season, especially in the Champions League. They were quite exposed on transition. I think they were quite exposed when they were being played kind of cut in through the middle. I think Oberdorf offers them a bit of stability there, but it's what she can do in those moments. I mean, the second goal.
Yeah. Oh my God, the long shot, ping from outside the box.
You can't give it that
just
time.
Dipping. It was way too high and just dips down in the goal. It's the ones. It's really nice. Like only world class players can.
I mean,
pull
when
off
do we?
that strike.
How many games is it in that then we start making the part three comparisons? Like, I think
It's hard, but I think it's just. It's her mobility will always be the question, but the way she was moving in that game looked like she's getting Stanway into the game more. You have players like Clara Bull getting many chances
triple hat trick for Clara Bull.
Well, I mean, of assists, 100%. But the amount of chances she had to score, like her and Pernille, like the chances that they were creating from midfield is just fantastic.
And Pernille coming in for Leah Schuler.
Yeah, I mean, there you go, and that's
we said it
happened.
last week. We were concerned that she would just be benched.
If you don't turn up for the bench warmers, the benches will warm for you. We have say.
Yeah.
We have say now, but Vanessa Gilles, another goal.
Your Canadian
Canadian go, another header. Just fantastic defense,
great
sheets, goals. What more can you want from a center half? And Tanakawa, great game as well.
I think a really underrated player. I think that the time that she was afforded in that game was whatever Leipzig gave her. I think it was poor that they weren't manning up on her, but she was given space to roam.
Yeah,
and I think she did really well.
That strike from distance, they hit the post.
Her technique, where close, is quite good as well. Yeah, no, and she's young. She's
100% has the confidence. It's showing their depth as well, which is nice. Seeing that Bayern aren't just this one starting 11. They definitely want to compete in the Champions League. I don't know how far they can go.
They're integrating new styles as well. It's not that same Bayern classic style. I think that they're adapting as well.
100%. And it kind of goes to the antithesis of what we're about to talk about here.
A real disappointment.
I mean, after the Real Madrid loss, Frankfurt come into the frame of the Frauen Bundesliga and get found out badly. Oh my God. All the stuff we said about Frankfurt last week and the week before,
that fluidity, that play, that drive, that attacking football.
They got cleaned up by an up and coming star of WOSO. I swear she's absolutely incredible.
Here. She was first, I think, discovered around 21. I saw some stuff about her. Then she did her ACL. Yeah. You have to remember this was a player that was actually getting really high numbers, 18 goals, I think, 14, 18 goals, something like that in one of her first seasons. But I think what she's been able to do in the past 2 seasons for Hoffenheim go to show that she's a player that's going to hit another level when she leaves Hoffenheim.
Yeah, 100%.
Which she will do.
Searchy, just brilliant game. 2 goals in a 3-0 win. Frankfurt, look, I mean,
they showed real glimpses at the start.
Yeah, Rutala had an amazing moment. Blomqvist had an amazing moment, but their goalkeeper, Hoffenheim's goalie, Laura Johanna Dick, just unbelievable goalkeeping all game. To keep a clean sheet against this team, I mean, look, you can't really ask for more. And that's why she was our goalkeeper of the week. But do you think that close penalty at the start of the game, do you think that sets the tone for it a little bit?
I think that I think Frankfurt, I don't necessarily think they lost their heads, but I do think that there was a certain frustration that was had by especially players like Reuteler, that very much, was emblematic of the performance as a whole. I think that they were rushed, especially in that second half. Their chances were quite rushed, and they didn't play that exciting football that we saw last week.
Yeah. We can talk about Wolfsburg really briefly.
I mean, there was one good goal and then the very typical Wolfsburg performance.
Minga, great right-footed volley, edge of the box, into the top of the goals. I think it was just it was a very solid performance from Wolfsburg, who are going to challenge Frankfurt, especially if Frankfurt and Hoffenheim are now second in the league as well.
I was going to say, I mean, if we're going by who Wolfsburg will challenge for second place, I actually probably think it's a tie between Hoffenheim
and Frankfurt,
because I actually think both have very similar squad depth.
4-horse race. It's crazy.
Watch the league, people.
Watch the Frauen Bundesliga. We're getting some equity in the league, which is great. Now we can move to the UCL qualifiers. Yeah. They're coming up this Friday. Really. Hacken is playing Atletico.
It'll be an interesting game.
Yeah. So 1-1 in the first leg.
Differing styles of football. Very different styles of football. I watched all 3 of these games.
Yeah.
I woke up, guys. I think it was 3 a.m. here.
Yeah. Classic.
And I was like, I really want to watch United get absolutely dunked by Braun, but we'll talk about that later.
No. So
Hacken and Atleti was a solid game. I think it was 2 opposing styles of football going at it. I think Hacken have a really, really strong forward line, like pretty much driven by this absolute young gun. And I think what they will have to do in that second leg against Madrid, against Atleti, will be to really just stop any sort of forward momentum that Atleti will have. I think we saw it in the 4-0 that they had in the week. I think if you encourage them, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And I think Hacken are pretty solid. They have the legend that is Ivy Luik and that back line.
Can she hold it out?
Look, I'm hoping. I mean, she's 40 and playing 90s, so I believe in miracles at this point.
Okay, so what are your predictions for the second leg in Madrid?
I think it'll be another draw.
Draw?
Yeah,
Penalties.
Penalties.
Wow. And who goes through?
I'm going to say Hacken just because I don't trust Spanish with penalties.
I think Atleti win this game in Madrid and win it comfortably. I think it will be 2-0. I think Bartel and Garcia will show their class and experience. I wonder if Luani gets a cameo in this after a performance off the bench was really good. But now let's move on to the 2 best games. The Hayley Rasso derby.
I'm hoping to see minutes from Hayley Rasso.
Yeah, the Frankfurt versus Real Madrid. Obviously, the first leg happened last week. That was 2-1 to Madrid. Signa Brun doing the Signa Brun things of winning matches for Madrid, despite Leggy's pure hatred for her, which is fair enough. But the second leg is also in Madrid. So do you think? I mean, have Frankfurt lost a chance here? Is that it?
I think both teams are in really interesting predicaments. So Real Madrid came into the first leg off of the loss in the Madrid derby, seeking a bit of revenge. I think Signa Brun came into that game. I think she wanted to prove some doubters wrong.
Yeah.
I think now Frankfurt are in that predicament. I think Frankfurt lost a game against Hoffenheim where I don't necessarily think they were expecting to win, but I do think that they were expecting to play better. And I think that Frankfurt now have the opportunity like Madrid did and just seize it. I think that they need to put pretty much everything in and try and get a result in Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the biggest game of their season. I think it sets a precedent for what they want to be. I think Real Madrid are looking like, and like, it's funny because you say this last week, and I was talking about Frankfurt being a real dark horse in this Champions League if they get in, could do some real damage. But the reality is that sometimes pedigree just gets in the way. I
find it frustrating that Real Madrid arguably have some of the best squad depth. I think bar probably the defense, which is a bit shaky when it comes to the players that come on.
Yeah.
I actually think the midfield and forward line, they have a squad that can do as well as they did last season in the Champions League.
Having Redondo, having Toletti was benched, and like different players not being involved in bigger games because they can afford that, which is nice.
And they have game winners. They do. I mean, we may bag Athenea, but she knows how to score a goal.
Definitely.
Linda Caicedo is just Linda Caicedo.
Seriously, yeah, like one of the best young up and coming talents in football. I think. What do you think? Who do you think gets out of this? Who's the big upset?
I do think Real Madrid, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I really do.
You think they win in Madrid?
I think that they do win in Madrid. I think it's. I'm not going to say it's comfortable, but I think that they have the experience. They've done this before. Frankfurt have qualified, and I mean they are.
Hey, their pedigrees are in WOSO is much bigger than Real
Madrid's
legacy.
Yeah. But I do think that Madrid get this, and if they don't, it will be seen as I think it'll be seen worse if they don't.
Devastating failure, but I'm all for Madrid's downfall. I am going for, there's no away goals, are there? No. So I'm going to say a 1-0 Frankfurt in Madrid, and then we get extra time and penalties, and then we see who really wants it more.
I'm really hoping that someone like a Fry gang kind of comes into it. I think she's been a bit stodgy at the start of it.
I want to see Rutula do the business. You know? That's what I want to see. I want Geraldine in the Champions League, and I think everyone wants that. And then last but not least, Bran versus Manchester United. Bran are 1-0 up, but the second leg is in Manchester.
I mean, Manchester have this weird kind of development of a squad that's like a pseudo Norway squad. I mean, they have some of Norway's better talent, but
Lizzie T, Selena B.
they have some ballers, but I think Brighton are the underdogs here, and I think they're gonna treat this game like it, and they are 1-0 up.
100%. It's such an interesting precedent.
I love this because, as I said earlier, like they sign a player like Rolfo to play in the Champions League. If they don't make the Champions League this season, it will be seen as such. It will be so embarrassing. No, it'll be embarrassing. It really will be, because Mark Skinner.
We're going for the league again.
Oh yeah, Mark Skinner likes to put this whole underdog thing on them, but you can't be spending the money. You can't be getting the players
not against Brighton. No, you're not the underdogs here,
and you can't be giving the PR lines to your new signings that you've got history and that you have pedigree when you just don't. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I want Brighton to come out with this one. Another 1-0.
I don't see. Oh wow! You really think they win a 1-0 smash and grab? I think they're going to park the bus, but I think as soon as United score, and I hate that. Like, I just don't see Jess Park allowing that to happen. I think the way they played.
Jess Park played.
Yeah,
she started.
No. I just in Manchester. Yeah. I think in Manchester the atmosphere, the environment, it is better for them. It caters for them. I see them getting over the line.
We're having a miracle.
Once they
Manchester.
get 1, it'll be 2, and once they get 2, I think it'll be 3. I think it'll be 3-0 United, and I hate saying that, but I mean, I'm glad Leggy is a better Manchester City fan than I am, because she wishes things that I want to happen, and I don't see them.
Miracle at Manchester. It's
but yeah, that's kind of all the UCL qualies we wanted to talk about. We're going to go to our awards. Just to remind everyone, we have 3 awards. We have our Never Bench Again, which is a player that has come on to play and just shouldn't ever stay
touch
off.
A bench
never
again.
just should play. Very simple.
They're not like us.
Yeah. Number 2, Super Sub of the Week, someone who doesn't need to come on but just does a great cameo from the bench. And then 3rd, our favorite award, the Come on the Pod in brackets Ultimate Benchwarmer Award, who deserves that in general.
We didn't get any of the players who we listed last week as coming on. They haven't come on the podcast. They haven't contacted us yet.
Yeah, let us know when, or just, no, don't barrage them with tweets. But we're going to go to Never Bench Again. No. Who's your Never Bench Again?
It's Oberdorf, of course.
Lena Oberdorf. Yeah, benched in the first game. Weird, I guess.
I mean, ease her in.
Yeah, not going to happen again.
Never going to happen again.
She's eased in.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Ivan Bene, shock. Never bench again. I don't want her in right back. I want her in the middle of midfield. Jill Rord, your time is over. We have a new player. We have the replacement. Yeah. Speaking of Super Sub of the Week, I have Emma Stina Blackstenius.
Look, I mean, I think it's hilarious. I don't think I'll ever name a City player, but Ben, you've named an Arsenal player. Yeah. My goat Stenius.
Yeah, I just think I'm kind of sick of the rhetoric. Everyone says she's unco. Everyone says she's got no first touch. I think you know exactly what she's going to bring to every game. She comes on, she scores. I name the last time you've seen Stina come on and not scored, because it was 9 months ago.
I can name it.
Wait. When was it? When did she come on and not score?
I can't name it.
Exactly. It was literally every game she's done this year.
My ball knowledge is gone.
Every game she's played this year, she scored. Yeah. In the Euros, she started the whole time. And then the last game she played for Arsenal was the Champions League final. And they scored there. Yeah, she comes on, she does her business. Oh no, she's such a bad striker. She scores every game. She's the best sub in the world, and I'm happy to say that. Sorry, Pina, you should be starting. You're a never bench again, you're not the sub of the week until you score another hat trick. But yes, who's yours this week?
I went across the continent. I went to Jayden Shaw in the NWSL.
Fair enough.
I think
the big the deadline day, 1.25 million signing.
I think intra-club signings, I think that they're maybe not necessarily an understood thing by those in Europe or in Australia here. I think she's been around a little bit. She was originally at San Diego, and that's who she scored against, actually.
Yes, exactly.
The team that gave her debut. Yeah. She scored against them. She's had a really tough year. She's actually been playing in the under-23s for the US Women's National Team, and I think she went into the Olympic squad. She got injured. She then went to North Carolina, and then she's come on in this game after the big signing, and I think I think we have to applaud when players live up to the hype and the expectation, and I really like what she did.
Yeah, definitely worth her weight in gold.
A good half.
Yeah, very good game. And then do you want to finish us off? The Come on the Pod Award, Ultimate Benchwarmer.
Yeah.
Who have you got?
Look, I've seen a lot of discourse online about this, and I'm gonna put a butt in it because I've kind of had enough of it. I think.
Should I sit back? I'll sit back.
I've kind of had enough. I think Kyra Cooney-Cross is overrated, and I think that any shouts of her playing, let alone replacing Kim Little, all right, it's just.
So it's not her shirt if she wants it.
Renee can say all she likes. I mean, Renee can say all she likes. There is a difference between replacing players that are closer to your level than there are just coming in and trying to do a job.
100%.
KCC. She's a good player. I'm not denying the fact that she's a good player.
Box to box.
But it's the
powerhouse.
It is the level that you get when she's on the pitch versus when she's not on the pitch.
But is she on the pitch?
I personally believe she will come on and not do as well or will not do the job necessary for this Arsenal team. We are playing a style of football that plays from the midfield. We're playing a mid to high block.
Yeah.
We need that drive forward. KCT offers that, but not enough. And I think you're replacing or you're trying to go for the shirt of a club legend like Kim Little. You better be playing outside of your skin. And this goes for KCC, Jenna Niswanger, whoever wants to put the two centre backs that are coming in, whoever wants to stake their claim in that Arsenal team, you need to be 10 out of 10.
I don't disagree. I think Renee runs a really tight ship, and if she's not good enough to play, the manager makes the call.
We're at this level now.
Kyra Cooney-Cross, you are welcome on the pod if you're really not going to play. I decided to be a little bit meaner than you.
Meaner than me? Yes. I just offended all of Arsenal in Australia.
I know. I mean, I put an Arsenal player down for Super Sub of the Week, and you criticised me. You've put one down on the Come on the Pod. How's that feel? I put down Rion Ishikawa. Hey, Rion, I'm so sorry. I know you're 22 years old. I know you're learning the game and you're getting through the WSL in style, but 2 errors leading to goal. Yeah. She was responsible for both of Spurs' goals, the deflection straight into Artenon's body and then the fumble for Tandberg to score it from halfway. She just had such a bad game. I'm so sorry, but I understand we have bad games. We all have bad games.
No,
but
she was crap.
You had a stinker.
She had a bad game.
I'm so sorry, but you are welcome on the pod because if you play next week, I'd be very surprised.
Well, the thing is that I don't really necessarily know the squad depth of Everton's back line. So
but is there consequences? You know, it doesn't matter about depth. Sometimes managers need consequences, right? When you have 2 errors leading to your 2 goals. Yeah. You didn't really do much else wrong in the game, right? No. It's that you become the difference, right? Yeah. So you start making those judgments. But that is our Benchwarmer Awards for the week. This is Leggy's NWSL Watch.
We're back. This week.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Look, this week of NWSL Watch has a bit of a preface because I don't necessarily think this week was the advertisement that the NWSL needed.
It wasn't last week. Last week cooked.
Yeah, last week cooked. But
it was viral.
This week, the NWSL had one job. Yeah. They needed to prove that they were a destination league, especially when one of their best players leaves.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's just been too many draws for me to handle anymore. I'm sorry. If I have to go through one more draw, I'm going to single-handedly go to the CEO of Yank Bull and ask them for the ceramic pie platter looking NWSL shield and ask for it because any Yank Ball merchant who is telling me and telling the viewers that the competitiveness of this league is up there.
Yeah.
Well, please sit through.
Hey, last week you said crazy results. Not this week.
Not this week, no.
But any big headlines? Anything I need to know about my good friends across the pond?
We talked about it last week. We talked about it earlier. Jaden Shaw, she came off the bench. She scored.
Yeah.
2 goal. She scored the second goal for Gotham.
Nice.
Look, there's been a lot of
love Gotham.
Yeah, there's been a lot of there's been a lot of speculation about why she left the NC Courage.
Okay.
I hate to break it to people. they want this like whole drama. Why is she leaving these clubs? Maybe she's, unprofessional. No, it's just because NC Courage is shit. I'm sorry, they're shit. Anyway, we move on.
No courage.
just
courage.
done there.
Heart of courage and honesty of a lion.
They're not that good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, next game. Girl Boss Ponzi Scheme FC Angel City. Look, they continue to show how generous they are. They gave 3 points to a team that hasn't gotten 3 points since June.
Wow.
So
that's 3 months. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I did just talk about the NC Courage being shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that kind of says why they're shit, but I think Angel City might be worse.
Yeah. Well, it's hard when you lose some good players in the mix and then you pick up
one good player.
one good player, important player to the cog. But yeah.
Look, I hate to do this.
Yeah.
I hate to give kudos to Chelsea, but I think that they got the better Thompson sister.
Really?
Because look, Giselle, she's younger, but
Giselle Thompson.
look, she one of the better assists I've seen.
Yeah.
A nice Rabona pass, but straight to Brianna Pinto, who is obviously on the opposition team.
Yeah.
And,
oh my gosh.
And that's all I have.
It's just so like I just imagine like our average viewer listening to that being like, oh, she's Rabona assist. It's fantastic.
Backwards.
Backwards, the wrong way.
And that's all I have to say about that game.
Look, I think Giselle Thompson is an interesting player just purely because like she has shades of magic that are encompassed, that are like overshadowed by her like blunders of the century, but a bit headless when she plays.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like Angel City are Angel City. They have character. You know what? They pack the stadium.
Look, if any of those people who want to come in and hold their Christian Press jerseys up and they want to come to support, I respect it. They get a good crowd, but I mean, do better.
Yeah.
Do better. Look, the next game. I watched the game and then I clicked onto the highlights to do this. It started at minute 50. The highlights started at minute 50, and I think that pretty much encompasses what this game was. It was a great game between Washington and the KC Current, the two top dogs of the NWSL.
100%.
Look, my favorite part of this game was the fact that the NWSL's Katie McCabe equivalent, Hal Hirschfeld, an underrated baller, picked up her 10th yellow card.
Oh, that is Katie McCabe.
In under 50 games.
Wow.
Which now led to a red card. It was 2 yellows.
Oh, 2 yellows.
Yeah, 2 yellows.
So, okay, that's okay. We're counting 2 yellows.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Love that.
so she got her second, the second in the game.
10 in 50.
10
That's
in
crazy.
50 is
1
pretty-
in 5. Wow.
Pretty good. So I just think, you have to give kudos to just a world-class shithouser.
Yeah.
Look, the next game, Mormon FC, they beat Houston Dash in an incredibly unimportant game.
You want to tell the viewers who Mormon FC is?
Utah.
Utah
struggled in the last week, but it's okay.
Yeah.
They had a game. It was 2-0.
Hello.
Chloe.
My name is Utah FC. Nah.
Look, before I go on, I do want to mention Savannah D'Amelio. She collapsed in the middle of the game against Seattle. She plays for Racing Louisville. It was really scary scenes.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to joke about it.
The match was abandoned.
The match was abandoned.
It was really distraught to see.
But apparently she's okay. They said it in the game this morning for our time. She said she was doing okay, but we just want to wish her well.
Yeah, 100%.
And now I go on to roast the actual second half of that game.
Jesus Christ.
Look, these two teams.
Body's just fresh, guys.
These two teams have actually the lowest possession stats in the whole NWSL.
Yeah.
And look, I actually think that if you don't want to have the ball, let's just always have these teams play 45 minutes. They don't want it.
What was the possession stats?
I think it was pretty much 50-50. So
you mean was it 25-25 and then 25 in contest and then 25 out of play?
In the air at some points.
Yeah.
No, look.
50% in the air.
I like racing because I always kind of forget they exist until I pop up and the only reason they pop up is because they always get dunked on after the 90th minute. This is the 5th game in their last 6 where they've gotten dunked on in the 90th minute plus.
Oh, no, that's so
They
sad.
were drawing 0-0 and then of course Jess Fishlock, my favorite geriatric baller. And
the best Welshman.
To be fair, all of the NWSL teams have one. They have the quota for the geriatric baller and Jess Fishlock does the job.
Yeah.
She comes on and she scores.
Honestly, I think her positioning for as a midfielder, her positioning is arguably the best I've one of the best I've ever seen.
I've seen her live, and that's rare to say about a player that,
like, she just finds gold. Like, you could think you have her for 89, 90 minutes, and then she'll just pick up a consolation late, and it's just like, oh well, like on the sheet, she's got a goal. Yeah, fish lock OP. And
the rest of the games, it won't surprise you, were draws. And you know what? I just can't be bothered talking about them because unless the NWSL want to come together and actually give me a bit of a contest,
there's no draws. Leggy has no draws for any draws.
No,
that's what we're gonna say from now on. If you're not relevant, no draws for any draws.
No.
And that is that Leggy's NWSL?
And that's Leggy's NWSL watch.
Wow, very impressive, very impressive. What would Kang do? Part 3. Yeah. Are we excited for this?
Look, I mean, I've actually been studying.
Yeah, I'm glad. I've got you just history books.
I did half a history degree, guys. Okay.
Oh, here we go. And Leggy's complained about both places that we've chosen the last two, by the way. 2 weeks ago we did Austria. Last week we did ancient Egypt. Now we're going to recent history. We're not going to struggle with this. History you're alive for, yeah?
I was how old?
3. 2008, yeah. Coldplay and Pink dominated the radio, yeah. Barack Obama has just been elected, and we're going to talk about what would have happened if instead of Michelle Kang finding WOSO, I mean, we're going to talk about that interview later, but if she found WOSO not in 2019, but in 2008, yeah, basically this moment, so the global financial crisis, all the economic downturn, yeah, we have her interview where Kang said that the gap between where she bought WOSO, she actually said this, she bought in, like they had to put brackets on the interview to say bought into the investment, but she said the gap between where I bought into WOSO was so big and was larger than anything I've ever seen in my 40 years of business.
She had to come in. She had to save it.
So now imagine she found it 11 years before amidst the center of a global financial crisis. What would Michelle Kang do?
Well, we've all heard of the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is the Kang of Wall Street.
The Kang of Wall Street.
Yeah. Look, they're the
Lion of Wall Street. The Lion of Wall Street.
Look, as the world is crumbling financially, crippled by the global financial crisis, Michelle Kang comes in, the savior that she is, and she pronounces herself as the leader to take WOSO out of the dungeons, out of the dredges, and to save it.
Yeah.
I think what
financially, of course. Not culturally.
I think what Michelle Kang does is, well, she exploits off of the fact that everyone's like broke, and I think
credit default swap straight away.
Everyone's broke, and as the lovely omnipotent capitalist that she is, she goes all tickets for free.
All tickets for free in 2008.
Everyone come to the games.
Maybe I'd like Michelle Kang. Maybe if this happened when we were kids.
Everyone come to the games. It's all free. The only caveat is you will have to sign your name in blood to say that Michelle Kang is the Lord and Savior of WOSO.
Oh my God.
And you have to just join the Michelle cult.
Kanga-globin.
Well, I mean, there was an uptake in religious belief after the global financial crisis.
Seriously. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Kangstrianity,
Yeah.
That's you know what? You've done better there. Maybe I'll start giving you history,
Thank you.
But I'm going to give you my answer, right? So 2000, I've gone based on the history that was into what the history that will be, yeah? So 2008 WOSO, we're gonna flash back, yeah? Leanne Sanderson and Kelly Smith combined for 70 goals in 2 seasons as Arsenal were winning FA Women's Premier Leagues at ease. Yeah, quadruple as well. Crazy stuff. North Korea won the Under-17s World Cup. Sydney Leroux's USA won the Under-20s World Cup. Carly Lloyd won USA Gold at Beijing in extra time. Yeah, crazy stuff. Birgit Prince and Connie Pohler's Frankfurt have won their 3rd UEFA Women's Cup. WOSO is in perfect harmony. Yeah. However, someone, despite their respective league win and her 3rd FIFA Player of the Year, is not too happy this season. After losing the Beijing Gold, Marta Vieira da Silva, the original Lorena, considered the GOAT, has just lost the Women's Cup, the UEFA Women's Cup, and the Olympics in the final, where she was instrumental in both tournaments for Umia IK and Brazil. Yeah, she was so good, but she was a martyr. Yeah, she was not just Marta; she was a martyr. Yeah, the untapped women's potential, the untapped potential of women's soccer in 2008, just as the GFC destroys the economy around the world. Michelle Kang understands that she can go into the future post-economic disaster, but is nervous about the risk of investment. Right, the women's game had a Marta, but it didn't have an economic Marta. We need an economic Marta, someone who's going to take the risk, yeah? And Marta Kang used mathematics and her own raw materials to take the Marta in her own hands, yeah? So instead of buying Spirit, Lyon, and LCL that don't exist, she'd have to choose different teams.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? So I want to ask you, which teams would you pick? It's 3 teams. Give me 3 teams.
Any 3?
Yeah.
Frankfurt for one, yeah. I think she'd probably choose like Sky Blue FC at this point. Kansas Sky Blue.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say she's gonna go here.
Here.
Yeah.
I like that you went here. We'll come back to here in a sec, but we're going to start with Yumiya IK, renamed to Yumiya Ikang. Straight away, easy stuff.
Yeah.
The dominant force in the WOSO world with Marta at the time. Her last season was there and she was ready to take over, but obviously a logo change is required.
Yes,
right?
of
Come on,
course.
this is in the Kang style. So obviously this will be on the edit, but obviously we have Yumiya IK's logo here.
Yep.
And I'm showing you a very small change. Done. And we have lions instead of
How long
antlers.
did that take you?
Oh, so like 5 hours. No, I'm kidding. No, it was like 2 minutes. But yeah, just 3 lions. So anyone who sees the Yumiya IK logo, you know what I'm talking about. They get LA Soul, obviously. So that's where Marta moves.
Yeah.
The girl from Seoul, without a soul, solemnly swearing to use her solo funds to buy LA Soul to solidify herself in WOSO. Clearly not a Soldom affair.
No.
Yeah, so LA Soul. And then I was going to go Frankfurt. I love that. I was going to turn Birgit Prince into the Burger Queen of Europe and do like a whole, like, I even thought about getting Rayo Vallecano.
Oh, yeah.
So Rayo Vallecano won the Liga F,
Liga F,
in that year. And if you actually look at their logo has like a red thunderbolt. That's like an arrow that looks, the only thing you can ascribe this arrow to is literally like the economic downturn of Earth. Like it's literally like, I think Rayo Vallecano predicted the GFC. Like if you look at the logo, like you could just see how like Kang saw the opportunity to just make a logo change and then just make it a green arrow pointing upwards. I'll need some edits on that. And then lastly, I thought about doing like Arsenal.
Of course.
You do Martas and all, and a potential takeover of Meadow Park to remake the new Lion's Den. But I went with Michelle Kang coming here, Australia, being an Australian martyr, right? And the reason is that in 2008, that's when the W League's inaugural season started. So Perth hosted Sydney at Members Equity Stadium, which will be renamed to Members Profit and Equity Stadium under Michelle Kang. And who would Michelle Kang support out of these teams, right? It's pretty obvious. It's the eventual champions who embody the Lioness spirit. The Queensland Roar. Yeah. Doesn't even have to change the name, doesn't change the logo. She's the new queen of the Roar. She owns the land, and now watch her roar.
This team, by the way.
Yeah?
It's good. It's a good team.
Yeah, and there's a reason why, right? You wouldn't have to change anything, but imagine they had Kang investment from then. They wouldn't be struggling now. No. And you could even change the names of their greats. So to me, Kang Yallop.
Jesus.
Yeah. Claire Pole Kang Horn. And then eventually Kang Trina Gori. Like you have so many like who could just easily become Kang Pilled. And then she's smart and she sees the potential of the Australian sport with money. She'd also rebuild Suncorp Stadium into Soulcorp Stadium.
Of course,
because it would be with LA Soul, Soulcorp Stadium.
She's a lyricist. She's a genius.
100%. And it becomes like this monument, but she'd also buy a second tier club. Obviously, you'd have to buy an internal second tier club down the line.
She's doing something she's not doing now.
You have to funnel the Queensland Academy products into Queensland Road, right? You could take Bundaberg Spirit, obviously like Washington Spirit, Aussie Washington Spirit at the time, but she just chose the Queensland Academy, Queensland Academy of Sport to funnel the youth talent through the pathway to Queensland Roar, right? So the Australian martyr is playing Kangria mode and she's saving / killing Aussie WOSO from its inception. Like, imagine Australia was just Kang-pilled from the get-go.
Well, I mean, it died a quite slow death. This would be a quite fast death at this point.
Well, I mean, it would be to a point where Brisbane War just become the ultimate, like, utility in the W League, which is crazy to think about. But I think that's what Michelle Kang would do. The diversified portfolio.
That was great.
I think, obviously, of those three teams, who do you think would be the best? You reckon? Surely Yumia I Kang just is there her number one.
I think so, but I also think.
But LA Soul though.
LA Soul.
LA Soul.
I mean, if we're remembering, this is the period of time where the NWSL, like, I mean, the US practically owned those players.
Was this this is the WPS? No?
Yes.
Or is it just it's just
so they
changed.
practically owned the US Women's National Team players.
Crazy.
Kang would have
She would have bought all of them. The academies. She would have owned all the colleges as well. Just oh my god. But yeah, that is how I think Michelle Kang would treat the global financial crisis, seeing an opportunity for what it is. And last but not least, it's a movement, not a moment. That's what Michelle Kang would do. And that's the end of our podcast. Please follow us, rate us 5 stars. We're on everything now. Yeah. We've got the link tree up and running. We're on Spotify, Instagram,
Share
TikTok.
with people who do watch women's football.
Yeah, everyone and everything. Please just spam all our favorite players to know who we are because we love them. Thank you so much. This has been Benchwarmers, a WOSO podcast.
Thanks for listening.